Good morning, everyone. I, Sonali Prakash, representing St. Anandram Jaipuria School, Vasundhara, Ghaziabad, extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this Love and Logic parenting session. At St. Anandram Jaipuria School, we firmly believe in fostering a strong connection between parents and the school, recognizing our collective role in shaping not just the future of our nation, but the world in this era of globalization. What does parenting with love and logic entail? Every parent desires their children to be well prepared for life, acknowledging that mistakes are inevitable and accountability is essential. Logical parenting involves holding children accountable in a nurturing manner. When consistently applied, this approach helps children develop a sense of responsibility for their actions and decisions, cultivating a habit of analyzing how their choices affect themselves and others. So, children who develop this skill become more apt at standing up for themselves and are better prepared for the real world with its myriad choices and consequences. In essence, logic ensures that children are responsible for their decisions, while love helps them understand that their actions may be inappropriate, not their essence. To guide us in striking a balance between love and logic in parenting, we are privileged to have with us Ms. Shalini Nambiar, Director Principal, St. Anandram Jaipuria School, Vasundhara. Welcome, ma'am. Her rich experience of over 30 years in the field of school education, coupled with her role as a parenting coach and trainer, has significantly contributed to bringing about positive change in many lives. Now, over to you, ma'am, for the session.
Good morning, everybody. Warm welcome
Good
to
morning.
It's strange that parents come late and we are talking about parenting. So anyway, I'm actually totally unprepared for the session because today's session is more going to be from the heart. I don't know which classes your child is in, but I'm sure it's spread across the school. And what is important is that child is the main focus. Then now, as I always say, parenting doesn't come with a book of instructions or there's a manual. So parenting is actually a hit and trial method. And we get to know what we have done at the age of 30 when the child becomes an adult and starts taking up a job. Then we realize what are the values, what are the things we taught, how did we shape up the child. And there are so many things when we are young, we don't realize that, which is very important. Because what is extremely important is the child is always watching us. Whether I'm a teacher, I'm a school head, you're a parent, child is observing. And 0 to 10 is such a crucial age because they're observing so much more and they keep internalizing whatever they are observing, and those things which they observe become their habits, and those habits actually, as you grow up, become our value system. So that is why when we say that this new generation's value system is 0, actually instead of blaming them, we have to look within ourselves that where did we go wrong in bringing up this generation. So I'm going to just share a PPT with you. Just give me a minute. It is love and logic. There will never be enough rewards or consequences to get tough kids to want to behave and learn if we are not first developing relationships. I always say, even in the classroom, a teacher, if she does not have a connect with the child, whatever she may be doing the child will not learn. Same thing at home. If you do not have a connect with your child, and that connection is very important, that communication is very important. How do we speak to the child is extremely important. So what is the philosophy? Like Sonali explained a little bit. Thank you, Sonali. Love and logic, where we give unconditional love to our child, acceptable. Of course, we have to love our children and we can die for them also. But there has to be a logic that what exactly are we wanting the child to become? So what the main factors behind this is choice and freedom to make mistakes. We all know that a person who is successful is the person who has made the maximum mistakes because he or she has taken risks. If a person is not taking a risk, he will not make mistakes and he will not grow. So when we allow children, so there's a very beautiful video of this great Nobel laureate, and it's on Instagram, and I'm sure you all are, and you can watch. These are beautiful reels there are there. So this guy is being interviewed. I'm forgetting his name again, as always. And he's being interviewed, and he's asked that, how did you bring up your child? Because his child is doing very well in life. He's a billionaire. I think Elon Musk's father, I think they interviewed, if I'm not mistaken. So they asked him that, what did you do? He said, when my child was growing up, like when he was 5 or 6 years old or 7 years old, his cycle was not working. So he came to me, he said, my cycle, the chain is stuck. What do I do? So he said, I told my kid, I don't know, then let's throw it. Let's throw the cycle away. So the father says, the minute I said that, the child started thinking that how he can set it, and he worked for an hour on the cycle, and he was able to resolve whatever jo bhi problem tha, wo solve kar diya usne. He said, if I had helped him, he would not have been able to do it. Because I did not help him, he was able to achieve what he wanted to, and the child was more happy because usne wo achieve kara. A lot of times in our life, we try and help our child because we think hum unki madad kar rahe hain. Actually, we are making them dependent on us. Or India mein ek hai, we love our children to be dependent on us. We want them to come back to us. They should need us. आप देखते होंगे कई वीडियोस, बहुत पेरेंट्स रो रहे हैं, मेरे बच्चे चले गए, पूछते नहीं हैं. बर्ड का भी जब बच्चा बड़ा होता है, वो पिजन से, वो नेस्ट से उड़ जाता है, because that's what you develop your children for, to have their strength. And nature ऐसे ही होता है. When the kids are small, we are always troubled कि इतना काम है, इतना गंदा करते, ये होता है, वो होता है, and very soon that time passes. And then you miss those days, because when they become adults, they have their own lives, they have their own family, and that's nature. So acceptance is a very important thing as a parent. So choice, allow your child. I'm not saying wo dangerous mistakes kare, but give him that chance. Agar he wants to drink water, or he wants to like children's life is so looked after that children start telling lies. Because they are, sorry, as a parent, आपको चाहिए एक perfect child, बिल्कुल वो कोई गलती ना करे, he should be perfect, उसके स्कूल में marks अच्छे आने चाहिए. I have a parent, let me tell you. उनको मैंने, a lot of people tell me कि अपना नंबर मत दो मैम, फिर पेरेंट्स तंग करेंगे, but I love it because मेरा जॉब है ये, just part of my KRA. That parent WhatsApps me every day, copy की photo, इसकी photo, and I was just wondering, how will the child grow? And there are so many kids in our school who are not able to communicate, because that communication जो उनका है, वो सारा parents करते हैं, बच्चे को बोलने को chance ही नहीं दिया जाता because he's scared. Sorry. Allow your child. It's all right. वो गलती करेगा. He will make mistakes. तभी वो सीखेगा. If you don't fall, if a child has not fallen, अगर वो साइकिल चलाने सीख रहा है और वो गिरा नहीं है, तो वो कैसे सीखेगा? The second important philosophy is adult demonstrates empathy and compassion. Be empathetic towards your child. Compassion होना बहुत important है, because these values are lacking in adults. हम जब बड़े होते हैं, we are just competing with each other. हम ये सोचते हैं organization में, हम like normal organization में क्या होता है? अब Sonali is here, and I think 2-3 of my teachers are there. They will agree. We are trying to build a community like a family. I keep telling them ये एक परिवार है, क्योंकि हम इतना टाइम घर से ज्यादा हम स्कूल में व्यतीत कर रहे हैं, that we should be able to look at each other and smile. ये नहीं कि हम एक दूसरे को नीचे गिराने में लगे हुए हैं. But that's the world is like that. So जब वो कहाँ से ये competitive nature जो adults में है, वो कहाँ से आता है? वो start होता है घर से. When the child is small, the parents tell him, नहीं, तुझे first आना है, तुझे करना ही है. We get after our children. And what happens is they develop, they become adults, and there are some challenges. They're not happy. They're not happy human beings, because उनकी जिंदगी में यही मकसद होता है, मैं दूसरे को नीचे कैसे गिराऊं. So developing your children with empathy and compassion is very important. अभी दिवाली आ रही है, so we were planning हम कैसे करें. हमने कहा कि हम जो poor vendors है, क्योंकि ये जो online marketing से वो बच्चों में हम empathy कैसे develop करें as a school. हमने कहा हम स्कूल में ही वो वेंडर्स को बुलाएंगे, एंड लेट चिल्ड्रन पिक अप दियास. जो छोटे छोटे गरीब लोग जो वो घर में मिट्टी के दिए बनाते हैं, हम भूल गए हैं वो सब. Child takes responsibility for his or her action. अगर बच्चे का homework नहीं हुआ या उसको कुछ हुआ है, then he must take responsibility. Give him that space, please. Child learns from the consequence. This I've already spoken about. This is the Gen Z or Gen Alpha. आजकल बड़े नए नए नाम हैं. I don't know हम कौन सी generation है. I don't know. My daughter was telling me, I've forgotten. I may be wrong. I think this generation is, if I'm not mistaken. Sonali, can you just Google it? I think Gen Alpha. I don't know. So they are social media savvy. They are multitaskers. किसी ने मुझे बोला parent ने आप इनका Instagram बंद करा दीजिए. Instagram अपने आप बोल रहा है कि if you're 13 years and above, you can open an account. As a school, मैं कैसे बंद कराऊंगी? It's the job of a parent. फोन हम नहीं दे रहे हैं, आप दे रहे हैं. Short attention span, because अगर आप देखेंगे, they cannot sit for long. They communicate with symbols and speeches. उनकी speech भी अब WhatsApp language is very different, and their social circles are global. They are in connect with so many people because social media has brought the world together. So this is a very different generation. What as a parent we would like to do is to give them a warm, loving, supporting home where he feels he feels belonged. He feels he should have some roles, responsibility. This is what every parent wants. And I just want to, I had touched this some months back, but I want to tell you, there are three kind of, parenting styles which are there, sorry. One is the helicopter parent, and one is the drill sergeant, and third is a consultant. Up apne aap sochega which parenting style. I'm going to talk about that. We are a mixture of all, actually, sometimes. जो helicopter parent है, उनका क्या होता है, जैसे बच्चा स्कूल से या बच्चा गिर गया या कुछ भी हो गया, parent is always there to help. Always there. वो बिल्कुल उनके ऊपर ऐसे घूमते हैं, कहाँ जा रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो, क्या खाया, क्या पिया, कब breathe करा, कब करा. The children are like suffocated because the helicopter parents knows everything about his child before the child. And what is the message you send the parent? तुम अपने आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते अगर मैं नहीं हूं. And we forget. I mean, I'm a grandmom now. कितने साल में और हूं अपने बच्चों के साथ? Maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years maximum. We will all go away one day. And all I want is that my children should be very confident, should be able to deal with take care of their grandchildren. We don't think of all that. Like when a teachers के साथ एक goal setting का एक workshop करा था, I'm just telling you, and you can do it at home, which will help you understand why these things are very important. If you just draw an horizontal line, like एक आदमी, let's say कितने साल रहता है? 80 years, like we take 80 years. Make a mark what age you are here, what age you will retire. Just think how much time is left for you as a parent. It's very less. So helicopter parent is not good because when you're always above your child, आप उसको 10th तक पास करा देंगे, वो फर्स्ट भी आ जाएगा because आप बैठे हैं उसके साथ. Mothers give up their jobs for their children. माँ जॉब छोड़ देती हैं कि बच्चे को. I understand when the children are very young, they need their parents with them. 0 to 3 years is a very crucial age. But after that, you have to let them make mistakes. And what happens with this helicopter parenting style? बच्चा unequipped for life. वो अपने आप कुछ कर ही नहीं पा सकता है because he's so dependent on his parents. Learning opportunities are stolen from him. Like you take your children to McDonald's, you take your children to Pizza Hut. Education क्या होती है? Education is, do you ever talk to your child? बेटे McDonald's किसने बनाया था? Do you know who's the KFC का owner? Who's this? That is education. You have to, as a parent, give your children life skills. Usko confident banana. My dream for every Jaipuria child is not his name, his face should be on the big poster outside the school, IITG toppers. No, no, no. I want a very happy child who's confident and who can deal with failures because zindagi mein hamesha life doesn't go like this. There are ups and downs, so the child should be able to handle. Somebody said, discipline should be very strict. I should be like jo principals wo danda leke ghumte. No, I can't be like this. My job is to educate the children. I'm not here to punish your child. अगर उसने कुछ गलत काम करा है, मेरा जॉब है कि मैं उसको रिपेयर करूं, उसको अच्छा इंसान बनाऊं. That is my responsibility. So it's very important that helicopter parents, they don't allow their child to grow. In order to grow, children must learn from their mistakes. Agar bachche ne homework nahi kara hai, so naturally he will not do well in the class. Then he will not do well. Or if it is a very small child, agar usne, let's say, kuch gira diya hai, or he's not able to draw, wall pe draw karte hain chote bachche. And the parents get very upset. You know, that is the height of creativity when the children draws on the wall. You get prepared for it. Na, wo chart paper laga dijiye niche, so that the child will draw. Because they look for, they're inquisitive at that stage. The real world does not run on the bailout principle. Real world mein aisa nahi hota hai ki hum, you know, like when we are working now, if I do a mistake, I have to learn how to get out of it. So helicopter parenting style is the reason why it's not very good. Drill sergeant he commands. He says, "Jo main bolunga, आप वही करोगे." You cannot think on your own. अगर मैंने बोला है तुम्हें IIT में जाना है तो जाना है, चाहे तुम्हें साइंस में इंटरेस्ट है नहीं है, I don't care. You have to become an engineer. You have to do this. You have to learn dance, whether I know it, like it or not like it. You have to. So he sets the boundary line for the child. And what is the message goes to the child? You can't think. I have to think for you. See, children, when they are young, jab wo 0 से 10 years hote hain, ya even when they are 15, they are kids. They are very inquisitive. Unko ek, they want to do things, they look around, they observe, galti bhi karte hain, bahut galtiyan karte hain. And I think if I was to ask each one of you, just close your eyes and try and imagine aapne kitni galtiyan kari thi as child. I'm sure you'll agree with me. We all did mistakes. You know, I mean, so it's very important that commanding, of course, we have our dreams, hamari dreams hai, but let's not live our dreams through our children. Allow them to do what I'm not saying let them just do what they want to. You guide them. You are the guiding light. You give them, but let the decision be a child's, because jab bacha decision leta hai, he will be more responsible because usne decision liya. You know, like I'll give you a little example. Aapko birthday party mein bachche ko le jana hai. Mother decides the dress. You know, chota bachcha hai, nahi mummy kehti hai, nahi, main nayi dress layi hu, yahi pehna. Child wants to go in a sleeping suit. Now, you will get angry and then there is a battle at home between the child and the parents because आप उसको sleeping suit में नहीं ले जाएंगे. और बच्चे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है why I have to change and go for a birthday party. Then how do we, develop them then? So be a smart mother. Give them the right choice. Take out 2 dresses and put it on the bed and say, कौन सी वाली पहन के जाओगे? When you give the responsibility to a child, the child will do what you want. But you have to be a smart mother. You have to be a smart father. We don't give choices to children because jab hum choices dete hain in the younger age, they become more responsible because decision wo lete hain. Like bacha ghar mein jaake, he's not studying. As a parent, what can you do? Make a timetable for him, just like in the school. Okay, when you come back 2 to 3, you will eat your lunch. 3 to 4, you can watch TV or whatever. 4 to 6, you have to study, and 6 to 8, you must go out and play. Going out and playing, मैं बात करती हूँ 12th के बच्चों के साथ, they have not even 5 minutes to go out and play. अगर physically बच्चा इतना weak है, वो क्या करेगा 90% लाके, मुझे नहीं समझ आ रहा. The physical exercise is so important because your body is developing. You're just 17. आपकी body grow कर रही है और हम physical exercise नहीं कर रहे हैं, बैठ के खाए जा रहे हैं और पढ़ रहे हैं. किस तरह का बच्चा आपको चाहिए? You have to decide. So the second parenting style is this. Sorry. In this, the message which goes to the children is become dependent on their parent for the answers. You know, like मैंने पहले भी बताया होगा, I'm again telling, there was a course I was doing in Australia. This was, जब graduation कर रहे थे तो एक internship kind of thing हमारे पास आया था. So when I went to Australia, जो हमारा mentor था, I remember he asked me, Shalini, what do you want to do? Which course? मैंने कहा, I'll ask my father. So he said, how old are you? I said, I'm 18. You can't think. मैंने कहा, no. I mean, I was so confused. So they become dependent, fall into peer pressure more easily because they're used to being told what to do. जो बुलिंग होती है, जो बच्चे बुलीड होते हैं, वो इसलिए होते हैं बिकॉज उनको आदत पड़ गई होती है कि कोई कुछ बोलेगा तभी हम करेंगे, एंड दे आर नॉट एबल टू शेयर. They do not learn how to make decisions, and they make, or they can make, they can't decide. As simple as that. They become followers. You must have noticed, you're all working in different organization. There are two kinds of people, जो workforce में होते हैं. एक होते हैं जो they come up with new ideas, they are bursting with ideas, they take their job very seriously. उनके लिए वो मतलब it's their passion. तो वो सोचते हैं हम क्या डिफरेंस करें इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. दूसरे लोग होते हैं जो बैठते हैं, जिनको आपको बोलना पड़ता है, अच्छा आप ये कर दो, पानी भर दो, ये रख दो, वो कर दो, डू दिस. एंड सो जो जिन जिन बच्चों की जब ग्रोथ होती है, दिस कम्स फ्रॉम चाइल्डहुड. when the parents, they decide everything for them, these people can never become leaders, they can never be successful, because they do not have that skill in them. Where it's fine, I mean, you ask Sonali so many times, I say, I'm taking this decision, I know it may be wrong, parents mere ko maar denge, but I want to do it because it's good for the children. I may be wrong, and there may be 5 parents who are angry with me on that, but I have to take a risk, because that is what is important, that give your child that space. Now, the third kind of parents are laissez-faire parents. Ye parents hai jo wo new generation hai. I'm my child's best friend. आप कभी अपने बच्चे के best friend हो ही नहीं सकते. You remember when you try and recall, जब आप 18 साल के थे या 16 साल के थे, how many things you told your parents, even if they were very friendly? No, you didn't. आप हाइड करते थे कुछ चीजें, हम बोल ही नहीं सकते हैं. Same way, teachers also can never be best friends with a child, because there is a fine line between us and them. So what they do is laissez-faire parents, वो जो कहते हैं ना आजकल जो नया word है, cool parents. वो कहते हैं let the children do what they want to, बिल्कुल उनको खाली छोड़ दिया. They are, they just believe that they should be their child's friend, और वो बच्चा उनको इतना dictate करता है. और we have 7-8 kids like that. उस पेरेंट्स से हमारी ये सुनता ही नहीं है, मैम आप संभालो इनको. अब मैं कैसे संभालूं जब आप 18 साल उसको छोड़ दिया आपने खाली. This is why children, when they grow up as adolescents, they're not listening to their parents, because the rules were not created when they were kids. They were not told. See, most of the kids, जो मेरा experience रहा है, मम्मी से तो बिल्कुल नहीं डरते बच्चे. They're scared of their father, क्योंकि father उनको कम दिखते हैं. Right? Because fathers are busy. मतलब पहले यही होता है mostly. And mothers have a very soft heart. Mother gives in to all their wrongdoing. Mothers उनको protect भी करेंगे. अगर वो बच्चा गलत करेगा, they will not let that thing reach the father, because they want to protect them without realizing. ये जो आप love बोल रहे हो ना, इसमें आप बच्चे को spoil कर रहे. I have a kid who was into something wrong, and when we called the parents, the mother came running. She said, नहीं मेरे husband के सामने मत बोलना मैम. अगर, और वो ये भूल गई कि देखिए मैं तो, मेरे साथ बच्चा another 3 years रहेगा, फिर तो बच्चा रियल वर्ल्ड में जाएगा. She is not realizing the mistake she is doing, because वो बच्चा doesn't care for his parents at all. Laissez-faire is, आपको एक रूल घर में बनना बहुत जरूरी है, फर्म होना जरूरी है, but at the same time let the children have space. Okay, if this is your room, if I come in your room, मैं knock करके आऊंगा. These are simple things. Very important. Why is this not good? Because children need rule and consequences to learn from. They are not adults. They cannot self-regulate. And parents are parents, as I said, not friends. Now, this is another parent who's a consultant. Consultant, जैसे अब job नया निकला ना, I'm a consultant. Consultancy में हम क्या करते हैं? We provide support, we provide help, we provide guidance, but we don't say that you do what I'm saying. We just provide the help. बाकी उस बंदे पे डिपेंडेंट है कि वो क्या चीज हमारी पिकअप करेगा, क्या वर्क करेगा. We give them the choice. The same way, if a parent can act as a consultant where they share alternatives. Let's say a child comes back and says, मेरे को ये नहीं करना है या वो नहीं करना है. अच्छा बेटे बताओ फिर आप क्या करना चाहोगे? You can do either this or this. Give them choices. Shares alternatives. इसमें क्या होता है? You are, ये मैसेज आपका क्या जाता है कि you are capable to make decisions and you are responsible. The children need to learn The children can only learn when they're given that space. जब उनको वो space दी जाती है. You look at any of the animals' babies. आप चाहे dog का देखिए, चाहे crow का देखिए, चाहे किसी का भी कोई भी animal का देखिए, tiger, lion, everybody. The minute the baby is born, they let they groom them for maybe 30, 40 days. The children grow up on their own. Because they teach them. The bird teaches the little baby how to fly, and she teaches them, because her thing is that agar main nahi hui to ye bacche ko to sab kha jayenge. But human beings don't do that. We think hum zindagi bhar inke saath hi rahenge, inko protect karenge. And when something happens, then they are not able to handle, wo kar hi nahi pate hain zindagi. So the consultant parent is like a model. His focus is relationship instead of task achievement. So there's a very beautiful story about this girl. वो जाती है अपने father के पास, वो कहती है कि daddy, can I sleep with you? There's foreign countries में बच्चों को अलग सुलाते हैं. I don't know, I don't understand that culture. But anyway, कोई भी बच्ची हो, वो जाती है father के पास. Father is very busy. He doesn't have time. He keeps going to offices. She says, can you give me 20 rupees? I want to buy a ribbon or something, she says. So he says, why do you need money? And he's so busy कि वो उसको डांट देता है बच्ची को. And then in the night, he feels bad. He said, let me go and see what she has. So she has this shoe box, जो उसने मम्मी के वो फटा हुआ ribbon से बांधा हुआ था. So he says, what is this? She says, this is your birthday gift. And वो shoe box उसने बांधा हुआ था और उसके लिए वो ribbon के लिए पैसे, because she wanted, it was her father's birthday. तो जब वो बॉक्स खोलता है फादर, उसमें वो खाली होता है, तो वो कहता है, he gets angry. He said, इसमें क्या है, ये खाली बॉक्स क्यों दिया है? She said, no, daddy, it's full of my kisses. So it is very touching story. हम बच्चों को realize, बच्चों को पैसे नहीं चाहिए. We cannot buy children with money. बच्चों को what they need from us is our time, our relationships, जो हम value system देना चाहते हैं. Every child can be excellent in life if we give them the right skills. I mean, my son is now 34. So at the age of 24, एक दिन ये 3 friends घर आए. I'm just telling you. घर आए, बोले कि they passed out of college, I think. And घर आए और बोला कि can we have something to eat 1 o'clock? मैंने कहा no. मैंने कहा 1 o'clock I'm not cooking. I'm sorry. तो उन्होंने 1 o'clock सोचा कि ठीक है, अगर घर में खाना नहीं, चलो let's open a restaurant. They planned for a month and they opened the first midnight food delivery. 5 years बहुत अच्छा चला. 6th year में somebody cheated them. They went from here to बिल्कुल down, fighting 35 court cases and all that went on. But I let him be. I let him help. He was down. He was depressed. He was low. But he had that skill. He had that skill कि ये तो सब life में लड़ना तो पड़ेगा. You have to fight back. And he's doing very well now because I didn't jump in and say, बेटा मैं help कर देती हूँ, मेरे पास पैसे हैं, मैं दे देती हूँ तेरे को, तू फिक्र मत करने की. No, it's your problem. You handle it. If you need an emergency, I'm there. बच्चों को हमें कई बारी, and it was a tough as a mother to see my child in pain, but it was very important. मेरे लिए बहुत important था कि when he is 80, 60, अगर उसको और problem आई, ये handle नहीं कर पाएगा अगर मैं नहीं हुई तो. And I don't want that for my children. Allow your children to breathe. उनको थोड़ा सा explore करने दीजिए, उनकी बात सुनिए, उनको choices दीजिए. Very, very important. Stay calm. And they tell them, अगर आपने, जैसे छोटा बच्चा है वो टेबल पे चढ़ता है, वो हम क्या बोलते हैं, हम बोलते हैं don't climb on the table, right? We say that, है ना, कि गिर जाओगे. Why don't we just say कि बेटा, if you fall you will get hurt, so do you think it's a good idea कि आप टेबल पे चढ़े हो? बच्चा अपने आप बोलेगा no. The tone, the way we say a thing is very important, because we have to achieve something. Like when we have a reflection table. अभी भी मेरे पास 270 teachers हैं. I don't think so 200 of them use the peace table the way I want it, but I use it. जब मेरे पास बच्चे भेजे जाते हैं और उनसे और एक्सपेक्ट करा जाता है कि मैं उनको डांटूंगी if they have done something wrong, you can ask your children. मैं उनको बोलती हूँ, okay, take this paper, sit down on the peace table and fill it up. उसमें 3 questions हैं. What have I done? Why am I here? What wrong did I do? what I could have done so that I should not be here. Simple. और जब वो बच्चा लिखता है उसमें, कभी भी in my 30 years of career किसी बच्चे ने कभी झूठ लिखा है? नहीं. Because when they start writing, they write the truth. My aim is to repair them. So as a parent, when you are a consultant, you are a model. You give them, they look up to you. बच्चा अपने पेरेंट्स को लुक अप करता है. What my mother does, what my father does, वो आपके सामने नहीं बोलेंगे. You know, mothers को तो बहुत ही वो करते हैं. But when you are not there, they praise you because they have learned a lot from you. So it's very important that you decide. So what does love help? Love allows kids to grow through their mistakes. When you love them, love का मतलब क्या है कि the children should be able to come back to you अगर उनके पास कोई प्रॉब्लम है. ये नहीं कि वो आपसे छुपाएं चीजें. And this nature is set in the younger years. जब बच्चे छोटे होते हैं, हम उनको झूठ बोलना हम ही सिखाते हैं. You know, we teach them how to tell a lie. We don't teach them to tell the truth. The children learns how to tell a lie in their younger formative years. So when they grow up, it becomes a habit with them. And they think, वो सोचते हैं कि वो हर झूठ से वो easily निकल जाएंगे. Every day in the assembly, I tell children one story, try and tell them. क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि maybe मैं 5,000 बच्चे change ना कर पाऊं, पर अगर 2 बच्चों की भी life बन जाएगी, I'll be successful. Because what is important is, अभी it's important to teach the children. अभी मैं बताऊं, उन्होंने मेरा Instagram में एक meme बनाया, मेरे को किसी बच्चे ने भेजा. Now I could have punished them. I could have shouted at them. It was nothing wrong actually. They just put ki where I was talking about ki crackers, burst nahi karo. All I did, I went in the class because I wanted them to realize their mistake and repair it. मैंने class में गई, मैंने कहा I saw the meme, पर आवाज अच्छी नहीं थी. Immediately by the time they must have gone back home, they deleted it. And I got a message, we are so sorry, ma'am. अगर मैं उस समय डांट देती, वो मेरे ख्याल में एक और मीम डाल देते, कुछ भी लिखकर. You have to win children with love. Love is very important. It's extremely important, but love doesn't mean we spoil our children. That's where logic comes in. Logic allows them to live with the consequence of their choices. If they make a mistake, they should bear the consequence of that. It is extremely, extremely important that they bear the consequence of that. And responsibility cannot be taught, it must be taught. It comes from you as a parent. You know, the parent, एक parent का मुझे phone आया कि she was very unwell. I felt very bad. And she said, my child is very good in studies, but आप उनको बिठा के वो मेरी सुन नहीं रहा है, because the child is naturally saddened because mother is so unwell. उसको motivate करती. I met the child. We had a long conversation. In spite my busy schedule, I always have time. I may not have time for you as a parent, but बच्चों के लिए मेरे पास हमेशा time है, because that's my priority. And I think same thing with you. You are a parent. कितनी भी important चीजें हो, कुछ भी हो, आपको बच्चों के लिए तो time निकालना पड़ेगा, because बच्चा नहीं आपके पास आया था कि मेरे को please I want to be born. आपने बच्चे को पैदा करा because you wanted it. Thus, it is your duty and responsibility to make the best human being out of that. And this is very important. Okay, misbehaving. So what happens is, this is what I was talking about, so I'm not going to spend when the children... now, what is the misbehavior side? जो misbehavior बच्चे ने misbehave करा, adult shows anger or frustration, और बच्चा feels very low. उसकी self esteem एकदम से low हो जाती है, because he is confused. उसको I've seen, हम मॉल जाते हैं, मैंने देखा कुछ बच्चे वो सड़क पे लेट जाते हैं, डॉल चाहिए, फिर मदर बेचारी एम्बैरेस होके ले देती है, फादर डजंट वांट, ऐसे ही होता है. But why can't we be honest to the child and say, listen, I don't earn so much, I can't buy you if you can't buy. ऑनेस्टी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. हम बच्चों को एक बबल में करते हैं कि उसको कुछ भी चाहिए हम दे देते हैं, वो मिसबिहेव करता है हम दे देते हैं. द चिल्ड्रन मिसबिहेव व्हेन दे नो. एंड जो बच्चे रोते हैं, आपने देखा होगा क्रोकोडाइल टीयर्स बोला जाता है उनको, क्योंकि जैसे ही आपने उनको दिया, उनके 2 मिनट में आंसू गायब हो जाते हैं और भूल जाते हैं. because they know your weak point. Even a 3-year kid is very smart. Usko pata hai mere parents ka weak point kya hai, main kaise. They are actually manipulators. They are born. This is the Gen Z or Gen Alpha, as it is called. They are the ones who know, who have the greatest marketing strength. आप अपने को compare करिए जब आप उनके जितने थे, and how these kids are, because they had so much exposure. So this cycle continues. I want you to think, think of all the things you have tried to do with your kids in the past, whatever misbehavior kya hai. Think of some things which you can do differently. And the best way to change so that the children grow up as confident is to be empathetic, to understand. Like if a child is angry, let's say, बच्चे की स्कूल में लड़ाई हुई है, या पार्क में लड़ाई हुई है, या छोटे बच्चे ने कुछ और कर दिया है, या बड़े बच्चे ने कुछ और गलती हो गई है. He comes to you and he says, I have done this mistake. And it's a big mistake, for example. As a parent, 99% parents will say, you are useless. Kyun kara aise? And we start showing frustration. What happens with the child? Child says, मैं अपने parents को बताऊंगा ही नहीं क्योंकि डांट ही पड़नी है. But imagine, अगर आप अपने बच्चे को बोलें, when he comes with some trouble, oh, I understand how you are feeling. I empathize with you. I'm feeling bad. उसके एक लाइन बोलने से बच्चे को बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि, like I always say, counselors क्यों होते हैं स्कूल? Because nobody listens. I mean, my husband doesn't have time for me. My children don't listen. हर घर में यही होता है. Nobody is there to listen. So what happens? The importance of counselors has come up in schools. CBSE has made it mandatory. Because children go to and talk to a complete stranger everything about his or her life. तो क्या difference है counselor में कि वो सुनता है, he listens. Listen to your child. When he's telling you something, even if you're very busy, yeah, bete, tell me, I'm here. I'm here for you. When you listen to your child, that builds a confidence in the child. एक जो वो communication gap है वो नहीं होता है. Child gets a sense of security कि अगर उसको at the age of 18 कोई problem हुई, she or he has the confidence that I can go and tell my parents without them judging me. Don't let your child hide things. You will repent it later. Let your children be honest. Every child is bright. Every child is capable of doing a lot of things. But अगर हम उनका confidence बढ़ाएंगे, उनको guide करेंगे as parents, I think this world will be a better place. So I think, thank you so much. I just wanted a small session, and God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an enlightening session. As you rightly pointed out, balance is the key. So being a parent can be challenging, but remember that in your child's eyes, you are unparalleled. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. So aim to be a genuine one. So before we conclude, heartfelt thanks to Shalini ma'am for her guidance and motivation always.
Anybody, Sonali, has any question? Yes, you're right. I got it. They are the millennials. Thank you, Shama Mishra. Thank you so much. I was getting confused. Yeah, anybody has any question? Otherwise, what we'll do is, I think, thank you so much for being there. Sonali, please continue. I'm sorry, I was just reading that.
So, appreciation to the leadership team and all staff for the collective efforts in making Jaipuria the top school in Ghaziabad. Gratitude also to the IT team for their support in organizing the events, and last but not the least, to all the participants for taking time out to join us. So in conclusion, I'd like to quote Foster W. Klin: effective parenting centers around love. Love that is not permissive, love that doesn't tolerate disrespect, but also love that is powerful enough to allow kids to make mistakes and permit them to live with the consequences of those mistakes. So we hope you enjoyed the session as much as we did. Parenting is an expansive journey, and through these small sessions, we aim to provide tips and clarity as all parents, regardless of background, share a common wish to give the best to their children. So join us in future sessions too for continuous improvement in parenting skills. Happy parenting, take care and have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.